Good morning. Today's gospel story is about faith and how we can know if something is true. When I say faith, I'm talking about the way that we can trust the story we heard last Sunday of Jesus raising from the dead. Easter Sunday can feel like a really big miracle to believe in. And while most of the disciples believed this story of Jesus leaving the tomb empty and raising from the dead, just by hearing it from other eyewitnesses, there was one disciple who needed to see it to believe it. Most of us feel that way too when it comes to something that's pretty unbelievable, or something we haven't seen ourselves. Like, many of you don't know me very well. If I were to tell you I've ridden an elephant in Africa, would you believe me? Why? Why not? You don't know. What if I told you I brushed my teeth this morning? That's a lot more believable, but you still didn't see me brush my teeth this morning, so you would just have to trust me. Here I have a bag. Would you believe me if I told you that there was a $50 bill in it? What if I said there was a ball in the bag? What if I said there's some Easter candy in this bag? I want you to think about those three objects and what might be the most believable. If you don't think the object is in the bag, say, "I doubt it," and I want you to say it really loud. And if you do believe that the object is in the bag, say, "I believe that." You ready? Okay. Do you believe there's a $50 bill in this bag? Do you believe there's a ball in this bag? Do you believe there's Easter candy in this bag? Now, some of you might be wishing that you could touch the bag, or crinkle the bag, or put your hand in the bag, or smell the bag, trying to figure out what might be in here, using your senses. And if you wanted to do those things, you're not alone. In today's gospel, there was a disciple named Thomas, and he had a hard time believing that Jesus had been raised from the dead. And he actually said, "Unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands and in his side and put my finger there, I'm not going to believe it." A week later, Jesus actually came to visit the disciples and asked Thomas to put his fingers in the wounds in his hands and in his side. Now, Thomas was pretty embarrassed, I'm sure. The ghost of Jesus, the real Jesus, had just shown up and said, "Here you go." But he did it anyways. Thomas wanted to touch Jesus, wanted to see it for himself. And he wanted to see this miracle. And after he touched Jesus, he believed. He said, "My Lord and my God." Unfortunately, Jesus was a little harsh with Thomas and asked him if he really needed to see to believe. He said, "Blessed are those who have not seen and yet have come to believe." Now, this might be mean to Thomas, but it's actually a message to people like us. There's no way that we would have the chance to see and touch Jesus' side. We're going to have to just trust this story without anyone being able to prove it to us. We have the chance to believe without seeing. And while that's sometimes hard, we trust people all the time with stories that they tell us. You trust that I brushed my teeth this morning. You trust the Bible stories that you hear in Sunday school. You trust the stories about Jesus, especially the big miracles like the fact that he rose from the dead. These are big stories that are sometimes hard to believe, but we believe them anyways because we have faith. By the way, there was a $50 bill in my bag. I wonder how many of you believed in that object. It was definitely the most unbelievable. Sometimes it is the most unbelievable things that are true. The resurrection is pretty unbelievable. That's what makes it the greatest miracle that we tell in church. But God can do anything. We just have to believe and have faith. Amen.